Hey, Jeff Howard here at Kiteboarding.com, and we've got a lot of people asking about certain kites and get my true review on it. And right now, we finally put a lot of good time on the new 2017 Apollo. This kite has definitely got its own characteristics, and there's a design that they're trying to fit into, and describing that design and how it fits that rider is the most important thing to make sure that this kite does what you want it to do in its design. So it is a very specific type design. The reason of building this kite, if I am correct, and I hope I've talked with some of the guys, are Cabrinha doesn't do foils. They don't do the foil kites, and they wanted to get something that fits in there that can work with or like a foil kite, meaning it's a very high aspect, it's very quick, it's very fast, but yet it's inflatable. Now, where this kite fits in are those guys who you want to ride fast. If you're on a twin tip and you really want to freestyle this kite, it doesn't like that a whole lot. If you're into riding fast, quick, higher winds, these smaller sizes, and you want to jump, this kite is amazing. It definitely has a lot of that sports car type feel if you're running at speed. If you try to slow this kite down, it doesn't like it. It doesn't give you that lowing grunt to pull you out of the hole. But once you get this kite running, it loves to run. So if you don't want to mess with the bridles on a foil and deal with that situation, you want the sure relaunched and inflatable side, the Apollo definitely takes a cake. There's nothing like this kite out there. The only one that would be close to it, if there is the Ozone Edge. It's one of those high performance, high aspect kite. High aspect means this is a 9 meter I'm looking at here, and how wide this kite is amazing. I mean, it is so wide for a 9 meter. When you put this in the air, it does not look like a 9 meter in the air. And the reason is this very high aspect, it's very short here in the span and the chord of the kite. And what that means is when the winds hit this kite, it dumps it really quick. So your depower ability and everything else, your change of angle attack, highly affect this kite a lot. So you want to make sure that if you're looking for a kite that doesn't have that lowing grunt, but it rides really fast, it jumps really well if you ride fast. Now if you ride slow and you pull this kite and you think you're going to jump, no, that's not what it is. This kite wants to run. I ran this on a foil board. I've run this on a tuned down race board. I love it. It works great. I also twin tipped it. I use it on a twin tip. The twin tip, when I'm going the slower speed and I'm trying to turn the kite and do some of the stuff, it doesn't like that. It wants to run quick. It wants to run fast. And as for a 9, it turned a lot faster than I thought it would. It was really responsive and felt real good. But here's the thing, when you pick a size on the Apollo, if you're looking at a 9, if you think the 9, that number fits in your head and you think the 9 is, no. This thing has clearly got a power of 1 meter above. I'll stand behind that. This is a 9, it pulls like a 10. If you go down to a 7, it's going to pull like an 8. So keep that in mind, and that's guaranteed. We've done the test, and we've done some other riders out here that foil with it, and that will tell you, definitely go down a size from what you think you are, because you will get overpowered. The reason is this thing is so wide. When this thing flies, it does not fly like this. It flies a lot flatter, and when a kite puts flatter, you have more surface area that is actually pulling. So that was back in the day when they used to measure the surface area of effective surface area. This has a lot of effective surface area, so be aware of that. Now, some of the really cool benefits of what they've done to this kite. Why is it so expensive? Why is it so fast and everything else? Well, let me tell you. See the spacing between the panels here? This is what Cabrinha is doing, and a lot of brands are doing too, but there's so many in here. And what that means is you can do a little bit of shaping all the way across this cell. And that little bit of shaping, it keeps the exact shape that you want and makes it very, very efficient. It takes a lot of extra work, and that's where you can see how everything is straight. There's no angles. It's because there'd be so much waste left over from trying to get all these panels. So if you put them straight, you have way less waste. But the benefits of efficiency and making that foil perfect in that shape, the luff curve of this kite, it holds it so clean and so taut that sucker is amazingly fast. And that's what this kite was really designed for, is speed. and it benefits in speed. So you let it run, it will give you the power. You slow it down, it will almost have none. It's really weird. But if you ride it for that specific reason, like you get out, and I love this thing on the foil board. The reason is I'm not messing with all the bridles. It's stable, it's set up there, but when I dive it and I take off and I start sheeting out on the foil and head upwind, this thing heads up and goes. Now, so you got the shaping here. You got a really nice clean shaping. Another really cool thing about this kite is its weight. Its weight is amazing. This thing, for its size on the 9-meter, truly the lift of a 10, even more, is so lightweight. That's because they use the ripstop Dacron, which is a lot lighter than any dimension poly in standard. It's in a lot of kites. It's a lot lighter. And when the overall weight that comes in a kite is not the sail, it's this Dacron, the bladders, and the struts. So they have run this ripstop throughout the whole kite. Some brands only run it in the out on the wingtips, which are less stress area, and they run the standard dimension poly in the center area. So what they've done is they've lightened it up, they've lightened all the struts, they made the struts really small and tiny, beautiful shaping. I mean, when this thing's in the air, it holds really, really true to the shaping and the design. They also went all the way through here and they lightened up everything. Very light bridles, very simple bridles. Of course, that's been done, but this is the way to do it. And it's not just open core spectra. I like that because wear and tear on these things, you're still going to get it. So that's a good thing. They still have sheath lines, but they are smaller and take the load. Anyway, you can see how thin this goes out. It does have one pulley in the bridle. I like that though, because that allows the kite to smoothly change and do its natural warping effect as you're turning the kite. So it's a great kite. I tell you, I had a whole lot of fun on it. When I let this thing run as a twin tip and did some jumps, it was phenomenal. It was a lot of fun. So be aware of the sizing. That is one of the biggest things I want to definitely mention about it. That's one thing you need to know, what size you're looking for in it. Other than that, I think they did a great job. This is definitely something that's in the lineup. When I talk about guys that come in here and they want to get into the foil boarding, or they want to get into racing, or what I call kite sailing. You go out across the bay and you go sailing across there with a race board or a tuned down race board or whatever you want to ride out there other than a twin tip. This kite, it will be awesome for that. You can do the kite sailing trips, depowered down, really nice and smooth. It's a neat kite, but it's got to fit that specific riding style that you want to do. So if you have any questions about it and you want to learn more, or you have some questions, please don't hesitate to let me know. But I will tell you, the Cabrinha, for what they were trying to get this kite to do, to fit right in that area where the foil kites are starting to win some of these races, or people who go out and sail or foil board, this is it. The new 2017 Apollo. And if you have any questions, let me know. Kiteboarding.com.